Ladies and gents, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Guys, before I even start talking about the topic I'm going to talk about, and this is going to be one that I think we all need to discuss yet again, I want to remind everyone Content Creator Program is going on, so make sure you hit that support button, guys. We got 2 active codes, 1 more on the way, and then we got 3 more, I think, coming down the pipe. A couple more weeks to go for Season 16, guys. It does end middle of April, so if you have not done so already, you're not supporting anybody, get that support button in there, click it, join, and it's free. Absolutely free, and it's always pinned to every single comment section and every single description of every single video, guys. Make sure also you join the Discord because we do giveaways every month for all supporters. Every time the season ends, if you re-support, you'll all be part of the actual giveaways, which is $100, $150 to $200. I want to say a big shout out to my top 10. Love you guys and everyone else who was supporting all the way down to the last 2,389. All right, so I want to talk about something. This is gonna be a little bit more sensitive than ever. Last video I put out was interesting. I did not expect as much backlash from as much people as I saw, and I think the backlash came for good and bad reasons. I don't want to talk a little bit about this and kind of give you guys my perspective on everything yet again, because I think we need to kind of continue on this topic of what's been going on and why I think this is a very important topic, not only for players but also for the devs and everyone else involved. Right now, the topic I'm referring to specifically was, has WOBL finally found balance? As that was the video I made. I talked about how this was the most challenging WOBL to date when it comes down to free-to-play players, specifically free-to-play players, and how we were, and I've said this during the whole month, that we were not going to be hitting the top 1,000. It's going to be next to impossible, and they're saving that for whales, giving the whales an opportunity to have a normal life, try to finish content whenever they can and hit that top 1,000, and then the free-to-play players were able to hit top 3,000 and 6,000. Now, I discussed this is something that a lot of people, mostly free-to-play players, were upset about, not because they were saying I was wrong, but because they think that the game is becoming more pay to win. And I made the distinction over my live stream yesterday that I think it needs to happen a little bit more, where they need to respect their whales a bit more, because the whales need to have a reason to spend, and if they don't have a reason to spend, the game dies. So no matter how free to play you are, you can't free to play a game that doesn't exist. So let's forget that topic for a second. But one thing I did notice that a lot of people were saying is 2 things. Number one, the topic of the fact that many of you guys skipped on infusers. Now, I made a video, I think in February. Where was it? I just want to see what the video when it came out, and I'm pretty sure this video did cover this topic fairly, extensively. And I think the topic, or the name of the title, was specifically called "Netmarble Does It Again: Forced to Play a Certain Style and Breakers Are Done?" ? And the title actually was this. It was called "Summon Infuser or Fail." That was the essential video, and I have, of course, Mary here and Igris. Now, I think we've made this pretty clear, this distinction that they are required, right? And this was done on, like I said, this was done on February the 15th, okay? So February the 15th, I made this video. Now, this is a very important topic because I want to reiterate again how important it is for infusers to be in this game, and how important it is for every player to at least try to go for one. So first question, a lot of people have been asking me, hey Payne, did you summon for Sugimoto on your free-to-play? Absolutely, I did. Absolutely, I did. And I summoned only to A0. I don't need to go any further. A0 was enough for me to get him to where I need him to be. Now, with that being said, Mary is now gone. So if you did not summon for her, which I did in my case, I knew for a fact that after trying the second stage of WOBL, I was like, you know what? If I care at all about even trying hard mode, even top 3 to 6,000, she was going to be a necessity for this team, even at A0. So here's the good and bad, okay? Yes, it fucking sucks, guys, that we need to have infusers for every battle now. That is the shittiest feeling to know, like, hey, we put so much effort into getting all of our breakers to A5, etc., 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 just to have them become useless. I agree. Totally agree with you guys on that, right? And I've been working my ass off to try to get my Goto to A5 forever, and he's not even there yet, right? So this is my free-to-play account. You guys can see not everything here is maxed out, obviously, right? And like, this is an A10 breaker that I'll never use again. Now, granted, he is almost a year and a half old, but the point is, we're not really finding a need for breakers anymore, and we've invested a lot of time and effort into them. So where does that put you guys as free-to-play players and pay-to-win players? Well, like I said before, this is a good and a bad situation. Bad situation, you need them. You can't skip them. You can't skip. You cannot skip an infuser. So Mary at A1, I didn't skip because I knew water is going to need it. Sugimoto, I'm not skipping, just who knows in case, right? At least Guild Boss, I'm able to do more damage because of him. And then of course, Igris, I went all in because I'm a big fan of Igris, and it made sense to go for him, right? Now you guys can see he's A5, A4, but then I was broke after. I literally was broke. So I was able to at least get an A1 Mary and an A0 Sugimoto, but I'm not planning to skip any infusers. And that's why I made this video in February, to remind everybody that this game has now hit that reset button. That reset button I was referring to. Right now, what should you be doing with all your characters who are breakers? Right now, honestly, it's safe. I think it's safe enough to say any breakers that you're not using right now, you can most likely start taking away their skill scrolls by resetting them. The only breaker that even matters remotely right now, honestly, is probably Cahoon, only not because he's a breaker, but because he brings so much to the table as a support unit as well. But everybody else essentially does not need to be here anymore, and can probably be removed at this point for any skills that you want to do. So feel free, guys, to hit that reset button on any of these breakers. So it is super, super important, guys, to remember that, again, as soon as the game continues to evolve this way, we kind of have to go with it. It sucks. Yes, again, I will not defend this action in any way, shape, or form, nor did I ever plan to defend that Marble for the way they've handled this. That was never the intent, guys. The intent for me was simply this, to just give you guys the information that's in front of you, right? Which is, you're gonna need infusers no matter what level. Now here's the good part about the infusers. So I'm gonna be honest, there's a good and bad, right? Now, and I try to look at things half empty, half full. I don't like to be just half empty because then it's too negative. I don't like to be complete half full only because then it's too positive. You got to have a good solid base. And the good thing, honestly, here is the fact you guys can see all these breakers. I gotta reset them all. The good thing here is the fact that infusers can support DPS so much with just overload, right? Or stackers. So I call them infusers, they're called stackers. Stackers can help so much for their DPS, even at very low advancements, that they're pivotal to completing hard content. A1 Mary shouldn't, if we go back to the old days, A1 Mary would have no business being here, right? Because without overload, the TP difference is so big that breakers don't make a difference. But when you put the overload into there, and your TP is, let's say, 3 million lower, or not 3 million, 300k lower, then your overload will make up for that. So having a lower end TP with an infuser is actually a good thing, because you can still get content done at A1 and A0, etc. Right? So this is still viable. Like Christopher Reed, I pushed A5. I kind of wish I didn't. I kind of wish I just left him at whatever, you know, A2, A3, he would have been fine. But at the time, we didn't know, right? Obviously, now I'm starting to see it. Like, hey, infusers can actually be really low advancement and still give you a lot of that damage increase you need to still be viable. Now, that doesn't take away from the fact that you still need to get your supports to A5 and your main DPS to A5 or up, right? Because they need to shine, obviously. But the good thing with infusers is you are able to summon for them at a very low advancement and still do fairly well. Now, a lot of people are like, well, I skipped Igris Payne because, you know, I was saving. Well, now Igris is here, so if you can do some of your story modes, guys, and get some tickets, you can actually summon for Igris here. Same with Christopher Reed. The only person you really can't summon right now is for Mary, which puts you in a really big bind, obviously, so that second stage is going to be a lot more difficult. So that's kind of like where I want to be at in terms of my explanation on things, where WOBL was balanced. I want to reiterate some of my points here, because I think some people looked at me like I was going crazy. Some of y'all were actually, you know what, you're right, Payne, this is actually the most balanced WOBL, and I appreciate those who understood the message. Where I meant for balance was the fact that everybody gets their piece of the pie, right? Where, like, if you're somebody who's keeping the game alive financially, you get what you wanted from this, and then those who have skill and time and effort and put a lot of, and luck, of course, luck plays a big part of it. If you've done all that, then you also have your piece of the pie by being able to get the top 3,000. And those who are a little bit less lucky but are skillful and have put a lot of effort, now you can get top 6,000. Everybody gets something out of this who have actually cared enough to put effort. So, like, there's good and bad about infusion. Again, guys, I said this like literally 2 months ago. I think when Christopher Reed came out and then Igris came out, I said this in January. The reset button comment I made in January. So this is a good almost 4 months now, where I said, like, consider this game now reset. They're trying to put a reset on everything, because that's two things. Number one, that keeps things fresh. Number two, that that also obviously puts money in their pockets. That's really at the end of the day what they're trying to do. It's a business. But number three, it frustrates the fuck out of some people. Some people don't like change. Some people don't. Some people are comfortable logging in, logging out, being able to finish content easily, and they don't want to be bothered. They don't want a challenge. Some people don't want challenges. Some people don't want the hassle, and some people don't have FOMO. Some people don't want to miss out on a WOBL because they're so used to hitting top 1,000, 3,000, 6,000, whatever the case may be. And now that maybe they can't hit that, right? And to them, it's like game over. That's it. I hate this company. I hate this game. And again, I don't defend Netmarble for what they do. Fuck what they do. I don't care about them. I care about you guys as my community. I'm just trying to keep things real. So I hope this message was a little bit more clear from yesterday, guys. I love you guys. I had to, unfortunately, I hate doing this. I had to ban a few people because of the disrespect that was going on. And again, if you guys want to voice your opinions, a lot of you guys did, and I have no problem rebuttaling in a very respectful manner. But the moment there's disrespect, no point for that, right? We're all too old for this shit. So like, if you're part of my community, you know it's all about respect for me when it comes down to like realness and when it comes down to honesty. And I try to keep things real. Not many people, other content creators, will talk about these kind of things at this level. So I'm trying my best to be a voice that kind of covers the reality of things, while at the same time putting some onus on the players as well. Like, we can't always, like, as much as I don't give a fuck about Netmarble, I do care about my community, but at the same time I have to say, like, we as players have to take some accountability for our own actions. If you miss out on somebody on a character and you can't get that person anymore because you said, you know what, I want to save for my favorite character, Liu, for example, I mean, that was a choice you made, right? But and you got to kind of live with those consequences, and you got to forget about this and focus on Liu when he comes out and conquer there, right? So these are the kind of things I'm just trying to point out. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to talk about this again. I thought it was an important point. But thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, hit those notifications. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.